Hello everyone, this is Chuck from the Golden Age, and welcome to another edition of the Golden Standard, the official comic book review series of the Golden Age 1942, Blount County's #1 stop for comics, gaming, collectibles, and much more. We're located at 316 Court Street, Maryville, Tennessee, right across the street from the courthouse in the historic WGAP radio building. One of the cool things about having a full-file subscription with the Golden Age is that every now and then they'll throw in a couple of surprise books that you don't subscribe to. Something different, something new that you don't typically read, and it's always a pleasant surprise to see what's in there because they want to keep you enlightened around here. They don't want you to read the same things over and over. So what surprise did I find in my full file this week? Well, I received a copy of The Greatest Adventure, published by Dynamite Entertainment and written by Fables creator and writer Bill Willingham, with art by Cesar Razak. Now, The Greatest Adventure touts itself as sort of a Justice League, or more of a DC's Legends of Tomorrow when I really think about it, a version of the classic literary characters of Edgar Rice Burroughs, including John Carter of Mars, Jason Gridley, Tarzan, King of the Jungle, Dejah Thoris of Mars, Korak the Killer, son of Tarzan, and of course Jane Porter, wife of Tarzan. Meet Tarzan, you Jane. Now, the story begins as Jason Gridley, an inventor and longtime friend of Tarzan, crash lands a futuristic ship in the jungles of Africa. He then begins to recount the tale of how he was abducted by a mysterious organization known as the International Academy for Higher Scientific Learning. And we find out that Gridley has recently finished work on his latest invention, the Gridley Wave. Gridley is taken to another planet where he meets a mysterious, sort of James Bond type villain. They don't really say what his name is, but he sort of reminds me of sort of these smooth talking kind of James Bond villains that kind of have it together. They've got a sinister plot, but they're very, they're gentlemen about it. It's like, I'm evil, but I'll serve you some tea and maybe a biscuit. But I'm also very evil, and I like to make things bleed. And he basically tells Gridley that he wants him to weaponize his Gridley Wave until finally he's able to make his escape, and he escapes to Earth where he crash lands and meets up with Tarzan and Jane. And Gridley informs Tarzan and Jane that the International Academy still has the pieces to his Gridley Wave and can still weaponize it, but the only thing that they'll need are certain pieces that are scattered throughout the globe. So Tarzan, Jane, and Jason Gridley go about forming a team so that they can beat the International Academy from finding the missing components to weaponizing the Gridley Wave and destroying the world, perhaps even the universe as we know it. So the writing is pretty straightforward in this, sort of laying out the story and the plot points of where this comic's actually going to go. The characters sound like they're ripped right out of the pages of a classic literary novel. It's not too dialogue heavy. I know that some comics I find to be too dialogue heavy and you spend just a lot of time reading. Nothing wrong with reading, okay? But I like to be able to take some time to admire the artwork, and I feel like this book allows you to do that. I feel like there should be a balancing act, and I felt like this really balanced that out really well. Now, I really love the artwork of this. It has sort of an epic cinematic feel to it. It reminded me a lot, sort of the feel and look of it kind of reminded me a lot of the live-action Tarzan that came out a couple of years ago. So I really love what they've done with this. I feel like it is a great representation of the book's title, The Greatest Adventure. It really does. I have to say the book looks like The Greatest Adventure. The Greatest Adventure is rated teen and up. There really wasn't any harsh language in this at all, just a little bit of mild violence. Definitely a perfect book for teenagers and young adults, old adults as well. So I'll definitely keep reading this. I'm eager to see where it goes, so who knows what comes next for The Greatest Adventure. Issue 1 of The Greatest Adventure is now available at the Golden Age in 6 variant covers. And you can come by the store and pick up either one of these, or pick up all 6 if you're feeling froggy. Well, this has been another edition of the Golden Standard, the official comic book review series of the Golden Age 1942. Be sure to comment below and let us know what you're reading. Tell us if you've read The Greatest Adventure, and we'd like to hear what you think. Until then, we'll see you around for the next edition, and hope to see you in the store. Thanks.